Yes, I think it was, what I can say about the game is it was a closely contested match. Two teams that know each other quite well, and I think the game started well and for both teams, but then on the 25th minute we scored, and just after that we had more goal scoring opportunities, and which I believe if our boys were more clinical, I think we could have wrapped up the game in the first half. And unfortunately, just before half time, our visitors, that is Matlama, were awarded a very dodgy penalty, which I think definitely it was not from where I was sitting. Even when I checked the visuals on after the match, it wasn't definitely not a penalty. But at the same time, the referee had made his decision, and he had denied us the 3 points. But now we still have to focus on the remaining matches, soldier on, and continue with the matches. Yeah, it is. It is. We're missing the likes of Tapelo Dale up front, because now we had to juggle around with the positions, especially up front, where we had to take Tabiso Brown to play him in the central positions as the top striker. And he's the guy who had the opportunities, but he has not been quite clinical, like I said. And at the same time, I think also the pressure is there on the guys, because they don't seem to be having that killer instinct, They don't seem to be having that killer instinct. And yes, of course, one could say it's a worrying factor. It's something also that we've been dealing with in terms of finishing, and trying also to have discussions in terms of helping them of managing the position of which we are at the present moment, because now we try by all means to see to it that we are still consistent. We should see to it that we secure our position in the top four, which is something that we have always been talking about, like being our target this season. So, and it's not only with them, like us as Kick4Life. When you see the result lately of the teams, it's always a stalemate. But of course, we're saying it should not be the habit. We should see to it that we keep our good goal scoring record, that it has always been our case, in the past matches. I'm not quite sure, really. I wouldn't want to say yes or no in that regard. But like I'm saying, we this past week we had two sessions where we had a psychologist, just to motivate. We have some of the management people, some of our followers, supporters, coming to the team. We had dinner together just to motivate, to showcase that we are all in this together, because we know a human being, a human mind, there is a lot of things that goes through. The anxiety levels are always high, so we always try to help them manage that scenario, because you look at other teams, they have players who've been there before. Yes, of course, we do have some guys, some players, the likes of Bokamotwana and Tabo Maswal, Ledikano. So, but the others haven't been, in this situation. So we're trying to work together as a team too. So, guys, let's just manage the position where we are at the present moment. But really, I'm saying they are not a bad team. They are still the best. I'm still very supportive to them. I still believe in them, and I believe we'll make it through. Yeah, I believe we'll make it through. This one, I also agree with you. It's going to be a different ball game altogether. It's a cup game. It needs to open and play an open game, but at the same time, we really have to be more tactical in terms of the way we should conduct ourselves defensively, and also the way that we need to conduct ourselves offensively. And we are aware that they possess very good strikers up front. Defensively, they are also good. So we are saying, no, this is the moment that we've been waiting for. Let's go in there and play to our level best. Because I also believe in our team in terms of defensively, they are there, and it's coming. These games are coming at the right moment where we need to, open up and enjoy the moment. So we believe it's there for us for the taking. Yes, of course, it is not. When you look at back where we're coming from, a team of our age, in terms of the years that the team has been in the Premier League, for us to be competing in the semi-finals of the top 8, it's a big achievement. But at the same time, we're saying, let's push ourselves to the limit. There's no other better time than now. So this is one of the opportunities to the boys to give themselves something. They've done well this past season, coming number 6. So it's there for them to give something, for their supporters, for their families, for themselves, But we're not taking anything away from our opponents. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I've won the top 8 before with Jody, and like I'm saying, I've just said earlier on, I think our players, they deserve something, in terms of getting a silverware. They've been one of the best teams I've worked with, the way they conduct themselves, the spirit, the discipline has been there. So I believe they just need to push more and get something, out of it.